After the great insights from Latika on the ASEAN region, let's take a look at some closer country specific insights, particularly in the Philippines, Thailand, and Indonesia. Now, with me today, we've got two country leads from Salesforce. We've got Tahsin Alam, Vice President and GM, Philippines and Indonesia at Salesforce. Welcome, Tahsin.
Really excited to be here on this session and hope everyone is staying safe and well.
And we also have Kittipong Asawapichayon, Area Vice President and Managing Director for Salesforce in Thailand. Welcome, Kittipong.
Thank you, El. Glad to be part of this conversation too. Thank you.
Now, I'm sure many of you here today are well aware of the rise of the digital economy in ASEAN. Region wide, digital initiatives are ongoing to increase connectivity between markets, and digitization has been happening at breakneck speeds across sectors and industries. So, what does this mean for job seekers and the ASEAN Salesforce ecosystem? Well, last year, the IDC forecasted impressive growth for countries like Singapore and for Thailand. We're talking about 8.3 billion in new business revenue and around 50,000 jobs in just these two countries. And I'm sure that last bit is something that you're especially excited about. And that's what we're here for today, to take a look at what's in demand skill wise and what are the resources that you can use to level up. And most importantly, what employers are looking for in their next hire. We know ASEAN is a region with a lot of diversity, and I'd love to understand how it shows up in the countries that our panel oversees. Kittipong, can you tell me what you observe in Thailand?
Sure, El. For Thailand, right, I would say we as a country has embraced diversity, and I don't see the gap in that space, right? Now with the move to digital transformation and all the customer already aware of this are important. What I see is the necessity that we encourage people from different industry to consider adopting or learning the new skill so that they come as a part of this transformation and part of this digital journey to improve the capability for the country. What I'm referring to are people who coming from different industry, the non-IT people who have learned the business process, and those are very critical, right? So we would like to encourage people to look at the additional skill that they can acquire or even mid-career change that they can come in, bring over the value which is invaluable into the industry. And that's the area that we think the effectiveness of the adoption would be there, right? So I would look at it from this diversity, from the variety of industry knowledge that we can bring to this journey.
So interesting. The demand is just unreal, and it's great to hear that it's widespread and that there are so many opportunities. Tussin, what about you?
Thanks, Al. And great points, Kit. Philippines and Indonesia has a large, young, diverse population who are ready to enter the job market. They're heavily mobile, social, and digital first. As we exit the pandemic, communities and organizations have learned that hybrid work environments are not the exceptions, but the norm. This needs to show up in the way we hire, as in allowing the new job entrants the flexibility to work and be successful from anywhere. Every leader I speak to has the same sentiment that there's a massive demand for hiring as businesses start to come out of this pandemic.
Absolutely. I hear that more and more. It's such an exciting time. Tassin, Latika touched on Trailhead as a resource to help seekers excel and grow their knowledge of the Salesforce ecosystem. And we know that Salesforce is working to expand Trailhead with even more parts. You know, we've got a focus on three new fields: marketer, sales, and designer. Can you tell us a little bit more about them?
Thanks, Al. Great question. There's so many ways to succeed within the Salesforce ecosystem beyond technical roles. Actually, non-technical roles are some of the fastest growing fields today. With the new career paths, we're providing guided entry points that help anyone succeed in these careers. For example, the new marketer career path includes lessons in demand gen, email marketing, marketing analytics, how to connect with CMOs, and other essential skills to help marketers be drivers of a company's digital transformation and long term success. Obviously, I'm passionate about sales. The sales career path prepares people to be digital sales professionals with lessons on soft skills, core sales, including prospecting, pipeline management, and even deal closing, connecting with strategy creation and connecting with their teams better. Lastly, the designer path helps trailblazers in any role in the Salesforce ecosystem to add skills in user experience design to their portfolio. These new career paths give people more opportunities to join the Salesforce ecosystem and take advantage of the 9.3 million jobs on the horizon.
That's fantastic. There is so many avenues. I'm never sure which one I like more, sales or marketing, but designer definitely sounds interesting as well. Kittipong, can you share a little bit more about Trailhead and the resources, specifically in light of Thailand, when we're looking at people wanting to cross skill?
Sure, Al. Thank you for the question. I agree with Tahsin that we have tons of good resource that we can access from this Trailhead resource that Salesforce have for many years, right? I would say this is something which a lot of newcomer, the people who just graduate, not aware that we have this kind of resource. So I would like to point out that there are a number of areas that they can access, right? First of all would be they can learn the in-demand skill, access to the online website that we already provide so many courses, right? All the skill that Tasin has mentioned. And beyond that, we also have the soft skill that they can learn and also get the badges, right? So these are the hundred of courses, the solution from Salesforce, and also the other area which is important for us to run the successful project for digital transformation, right? So that's number one. For number two, I would say for the Thai people who love to understand the session or this technology in Thai, we also collaborating with the digital DIPA, which is Digital Economy Promotion Agency, to provide these courses in Thai. We have done it one time last year for three courses, right, for 100 students, and that's the first time that we have done. And this year we are planning to do more, right? So we are providing that training to the Thai student who want to learn this in Thai from the professor in the university, right? So this is the resource number two. And I think these are important because we all can get badges and certification, which is very important for all the newcomer into the industry to show that they are capable, they have this knowledge that they can do the job well, right? So this is very important. And last thing, a lot of people would find that there are tons of training available on Trailhead, and we have this thing called Trail Mix where we could help you, guide you what would be important for you in terms of the sequencing the training for you so that you can learn faster in certain area that you have heard from Tasin, right? Could be digital marketing, could be CRM, and we have a lot more for you to learn from Telmix. Thank you.
Fantastic. I know myself, I've got a few different trail mixes I'm doing, and it's great because you can combine, a bit of sales or a bit of marketing, or you can do ones we've predefined. So I think the great thing about Trailhead is that it removes barriers, and anyone can really come into our Salesforce ecosystem. And programs like Deeper just remove further barriers when we're looking particularly at language. So really exciting. Thank you for those insights. Let's move on to something I'm sure our viewers have been waiting for. What are the opportunities? So we'll start with Kitty Pong. Can you tell us how it looks for Thai job seekers?
Okay, I would say the industry are super active, and all the Thai company, large and small, they all see the importance of digital transformation and adoption of this new technology. So I would say in the market, just for the business partner of Salesforce alone, we see the potential of more than 500 job position available, right? And for our customer, there will be a lot more. I will use one data point which IDC has mentioned that for Thailand itself, in the next 5 years, we would generate 31,000 more jobs on Salesforce, and that would reflect as a $1.7 billion to drive the industry and also generate more revenue, right? So those are the scale that we are looking at. So to you as the job seeker, I would say there are tons of opportunity, and this is not just in the CRM area. There will be a lot more solution that Salesforce bring to the country, and that will be more impact that you can do, right? So plenty of opportunity for all the job seeker. And this is not just for the newcomer to industry. We also looking forward to invite people who want to move uh, from other industry, the mid-career change, to look at Salesforce solution and then try to adopt this knowledge so that you can bring more impact to the country.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I mean, the whole of ASEAN is growing at such a rapid speed, but I guess particularly in the Philippines and Thailand, we've got so many partners with such an appetite that really it's anyone's opportunity. So it's great to hear those insights. And Tassin, when we're talking more about the Philippines, what are employers looking for? What are your thoughts?
Absolutely, great question. Philippines is coming out of one of the longest lockdowns globally, but it's a very resilient country, and I personally believe that the future is extremely bright for Philippines. Travel has opened up, and in my last few trips to Manila, I noticed fuller flights and a busier airport. Recent reports of various companies show double-digit growth in revenue. All these point to significant hiring potential across all industries. This means there's a massive opportunity for job seekers to upskill and get ready for the spike in hiring immediately. I shared earlier about massive hiring in all segments. There is, however, a need for talent with the right skills. Every leader I speak with talk about the challenges in hiring local talent with Salesforce skills. Of course, shameless plug, but I absolutely want everyone watching this to lean in and fill in these jobs that are available in the Salesforce ecosystem.
Totally. I was just on the phone earlier with someone who is adamant that Philippines is one of their biggest focuses for this year. And Tussin, I'm sure you agree. Like that conversation happens, every second day. The growth is phenomenal, and they want good people and all different types of people. So I'm very pleased to hear that because it's exciting to see what the next few months hold now that everything is reopening. Now, speaking of the future, let's take a look ahead. What are you most excited about? Who will we start with? Tarson, tell me, what do you think?
I'm super excited about the future of Trailblazers in the region. I've seen Trailblazers from Philippines like Neil, who used to be a freelancer many years ago. Over the years, Neil not only got various certifications and badges from Trailhead, he managed to support his family with various Salesforce projects for pro bono companies across the world. Neil is now an MVP and has moved to Canada as a Salesforce solution architect. There are many, many stories like Neil in this region, and I hope to see more MVPs out of Philippines and Indonesia in a very near future.
Kittipong?
Yeah, thank you. For me, I would say the excitement is actually everywhere, right? For this digital transformation with Salesforce solution, and I would say every industry from banks, from insurance, telco, even SMB, they're all open to adopt this new technology. And I see the relevance of Salesforce solution to help the country. So that's the excitement that I think Salesforce as a company and all the job seeker could work together to drive those impact to the country. Right? I'm talking about the CRM solution, which every company are now focusing on customer 360, and we're also looking at things like digital headquarter, right, which everyone has learned how to work remotely and trying to drive success from anywhere. So these are things that we can introduce to the company within this country. And we are also trying to get people back to work, which we have safety cloud that we can learn and then apply that to our new way of living and also working. And last but not least, this is very important. In Thailand, we have signed an agreement that the country would become net zero by the year 2050. So that's another big impact that Salesforce and the job seeker could work together to bring those knowledge, apply it to the country, and make us grow as a country and also as a person.
There's just so much in that you talked about that makes me excited. Mark Benioff, our founder, would always say business is the greatest platform for change. And I think it's up to us and every job seeker out there. Like, what is the change we want to see or be part of? And you've spoken about, the journey for a country or an organization to become net zero, job opportunities and different career paths, and then overseeing those career paths with different clouds. So I think there's a lot to be excited about here. And I know if I was a job seeker in either of Philippines or Thailand or anyone else in ASEAN, I really do think the world is your oyster. It's where you want to go next. So, look, on a more final note, let's get a bit more personal. Tell me, you've both had such wonderful career journeys. What's one key learning that you continue to apply in your work every day? Tarsin?
Thanks. I would say that having a beginner's mindset, that learning never stops, is something I cherish every day. I think that's also the reason why I'm in Salesforce for about 9 years. It's the constant learning. On that, one thing that's constant in Salesforce is change, and the pace of change is ever increasing. Trailhead makes it easy to keep up and learn on the go. And I really, really wish that I had this tool when I really started my career back in the day.
Definitely. Kittipong, advice or what are you living by?
Sure. Thank you for that question. To me, when I start my career, one of the friend of mine told me that you can if you think you can. Right? So that's something which I think our mind is very powerful. So if we tell ourselves we can do things, right, it will frame our thought and it will become the action that we could bring to our own success and also the success of our business. So I would encourage everyone to think that you can do things if you are focusing on those goals that you have in life, right? So I would like to encourage the job seeker to focus on this and believe in yourself, believe in your capability that if you focus on bringing in this new knowledge, it will improve yourself, it will improve your society and the country, right? So I'll go back to what Al mentioned. It's actually the platform for you to grow, right? And Salesforce, together with yourself, could grow and drive more impact, positive impact to the society and the country with your positive attitude.
Thank you, Kitty Pong. And I'll go back to what you said. For everyone, you can if you think you can. That is such a great quote because I know that everyone attending the career fair today can have an amazing career and one where you get to design your own journey. So I'm really excited about that. And I think that's a great mindset to go into the rest of today with. Guys, it has been so wonderful to hear from you both and hear your perspectives, particularly those local insights for Thailand and the Philippines. So, thank you both so much for joining and taking time out of your day. I'm sure many of our job seekers might come across you in the future. So, thank you very much, Tassin, Kitty Pong.
Thank you, El. It was a pleasure to be on this panel. And I really, really hope to see all of you in our customer offices in the near future. Stay safe, stay well.
Thank you, Al. Thank you, Tahsin, and all the job seeker. Hopefully, you and Salesforce could be together to drive the positive impact to our society. Thank you. ขอบคุณครับ